Oh guys, all right guys, just remember I'm doing these videos just to speak English, to be able to like get more comfortable with this language. So please don't put yourself. Oh god, I need to clean this lens. Wait a minute. Clean the lens while I record. That's perfect, no? I should do that every day. God, Jesus. I really need to clean those lens. Boy, wait a minute. I literally cleaned the lens. I literally doing that. I'm sorry for the shit, bro. Okay, 1 minute to clean the lens, and now we are back here. And in the screen, guys, you can see the full text I'm reading to you today. It's the same one, the last video. It was straight brief history of China. And I'm so sorry, forgive me, It's really, it's a moment in your lives, right? Boys, guys, I got out from Brazil with my 21s. But are pretty young, like fully of future, right? I have a good education, ready to get a public school. Remembering that the public universities out there are free, so get ready to just jump on the university, study philosophy, study laws, study history, geography, whatever. And come the pandemic, and I already doing my work there too, right? And I have like good money coming to the life modes of Brazil. I have a good life in Brazil, but come the pandemic, things change, and I changed with them too, and I come to here, right? And I just taking this time to improve myself, study more English, get better understood about people with people around the world now. Like that has been done, and I don't know. I have so many more things to do. Like I like because like my main thing here in the United States is not the dollar, and I know for a lot of people is the dollar, and that's great because like in Brazil I have like studied about investments. Like so for me like something familiar, something like good listen dollar. Now like um, thing behind the dollar to me, it's all that comes with all those old values of Brazil. And it's something I really hold, and I don't change. So the thing is how I work with those old values Brazil and mix with my new values here in the United States. So that's the way I'm reading. That's the way I'm reading. Alright, let me shut up and just start reading with you guys. Temple of Confucius. In Confucian Dawn provides hometown of Confucius, 551 to 479 BC. Places in the connection with Confucius are still well kept. So we see like around 500 years before Jesus, the Confucius knowledge in China is still. They include Confucius residence temples in commemoration of Confucius and tombs where Confucius and these descendants are buried. This is the main building inside the Temple of Confucius where rites and of worshipping Confucius are carried out. It has built in 1724, inspired by the designer of a royal palace. And look what is fun, bro. Look at what is fun, bro. Like we getting here a knowledge of China, right? What is the time we stop to read about China? Like, bro, but like I'm just doing my second video about May in a week. I have the third, the 40, the 5, right? And like we that that the movement are just like getting more knowledge about it, English, getting more knowledge about geopolitics, like, and that's good. So don't like burn yourself or like uh, reprime yourself, like like force yourself to do anything you don't want, like, but now the things you want to do well, do gentle with yourself, make down, write down the history of romance you want to live in your life, you know. And sometimes when you don't have like the exact personages you want to that, all right, just make sure you be who you want to be on this history, like, okay, let's keep highlighting history. 1 million years ago, God no, 1 million years ago. When do you stop to read about that? Just with you guys, some fake guys in the world. Early human fossils in Paleolithic era that date back to 406,000 years ago to 2230,000 years ago were found in mountain in Logu Zohukondian Beijing. It's a very popular place. You almost see all my playlists on Spotify. Alright, keep 4,000 years and 300 years BC. 4,300 years BC, Bumpo village, a Neolithic site of human settlement that dates back to around 5,000 BC, has found in Bumpo village of China, Shanxi province. Skill fabric has found dating from the Dawokou country period of 4,300 BC. 2500 BC. In early Tuanshianen's province, two sides of palatial complex were found dating from 2100 BC to 1700 BC. Those places featuring central axes were similar to those in Shaya dynasty. They are the earliest. Oh look, that they are similar. They are the earliest palatial buildings ever known in China and become the prototype for many Chinese palatial structures to follow. Guys, let's remember when you see about China, it's exactly what they are showing up to us. Here, we saying about a history of 5,000 years, bro, at minimum. 5,000 years, bro, at minimum. Minimum, right? So, okay, what? Okay. America have 5,000, 500. 500. 500. It's even 10% of the minimum we can speculate about China's history. They are truly OGs, bro. I want to like respect, to me, like, okay, 300 BC. In 278 BC, the Chinese poet Ku Yan, well known for Lai Sao and Jiu Ji, committed suicide by throwing himself into the river. God. The traditional, oh, they don't have God there. The traditional Chinese festival, Dragon Boat Festival, is said to have originated in memory of poet death. God. Around the second century BC, and it's fun. That's what I say. I truly learning English with truly fun histories. Okay, the last one in 300 BC is not too many fun, but those people are truly valued on those villages, on those countries, and that's what turned that fun because like have people really like pay attention to that. Okay, a lot of emotions, 200 BC, around the second century BC, Zhou Bi Songjing in Chinese has completed. This book cites Pythagorean law, making the earliest record ever found in Chinese documents. Oh god. I see so many people talking about Chinese. I want to see one YouTuber here, okay, Open all the books, all the newsletters, all the knowledge you have on the Occident internet about China, okay, and try at minimum come here with truly histories and experience of those people, okay. 100 BC, Chinese exploration king has dispatched trees as involved to establish a relationship with countries in Central Asia, which made possible the development of the Silk Road. 100 BC. 1000 BC, Chinese has begun formal historical record keeping in 1841 BC. Whoa, the calendar, bro. The calendar, you know that? They use that for everything. Everything. It's okay. They use that for everything. Like they use that for the calendar. They use that they use that for everything, bro. That's like the alphabet of them. It's true. Like 600 BC, Lao Zi 571 to 471 BC for the Chinese Taoist philosopher and thinker is now for his philosophical masterpiece Tao Te Ching, classical of the way and its virtue. 500 BC, China Confucian school of thought begin with Confucius 1551 to 479 BC and become centerpiece of traditional Chinese country in subsequent 2000 plus years of China history. Just that, okay? Take it. 400 BC. Zhang Guangxi around 269 to 369 to 289 BC as one of the principal founders of Daoism. His philosophy and that of Lao Tzu, founder of the Daoism, are combined as the philosophy of Lao Zhuangzi, Lao Zhuangzi, Lao Zhuangzi, Lao Zhuang, Lao Zhuang, Lao Zhuang, Lao Zhuang. But Zhuangzi's writing is damned more brilliant he is now for his work in Zhuangzi. Alright. In 6A, the Burma Temple, White Horse Temple, has built in Luoyang in Wenan province, making it the earliest Buddhist temple in the Han Chinese city. Han is a very important name in China. And the 105 Kailun at 63 to 121 invented a type of paper that is made from the bark of trees remnant of hemp, rings of clothes, and finishing snacks. The method later gained nationwide recognition. This type of paper is called the paper of marking color. In 132, Zheng Heng 78 to 39 invented the world first seismometer named Word Cake Heathervane, which later successfully forecasted a Word Cake taking place in West Gansu province. Wow. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. I'm saying like those guys 2,000 years ago. Alright, to be honest, let's be honest. 1,900 years ago, in 100 years after Jesus, okay, we're saying about 10 decades after Jesus, 10 decades, okay, we are 200 decades front of Jesus. This guy is just 10. It's like a teenage, right? Those guys have invented the first seismometer. Okay, so like a 200 2,000 years ago, the Chinese people already know how to found if our cake is coming. Bro, that is stupid genius. God, Jesus. Oh yeah. That's genius, bro. That is genius. I want some Chinese taking care of my account right now in the bank. Maybe they can make me billionaire, right? Okay. I started Chinese physician, hometown. As a master of internal medicine, gynecologist and pediatric case in acupuncture, acupuncture, a- acupuncture. I'm sorry, guys. Like the way we speak that in Brazil, it's so different, and like it's not like the name because the name is itself, the Latin words is generally, truly wrote that's at the same kind forms way to prefixes, prefixes, and all that bullshit of the European grammar. Okay, so like the European grammar, it's very similar. Now, what happened? The way they spoke, because like the guys like on Greek, right? The Greek, they don't speak like the guys on the north of the English land, you know, and they don't speak like the Portuguese. The Portuguese are totally different, bro. So like Portuguese is Spanish. Spanish is kind of how different, right? So acupuncture, we read similar, but the way to spoke is 100% different. And that because like me, oh god, I know how to read that, I know what is that, but I don't know like how to pronunciation because the pronunciation is what the hell kind of different. But the way we write, it's similar, change like one letter. God no. Okay. In 627, Tengan Dynasty, 618 to 907, Buddhist monk Xuanzang departed at Cheng, today Xi'an, and began his journey to India in pursuit of Buddhist scriptures. That is so nice. Like, like read about that. Around the mid 18th century, the class of Tia Chajin has writing by a Chinese writer named Lu Hu at 733 C to 804. It's the first known monograph on tea in the world. God. It seems like about 1,000 years ago, people writing about tea. A moment, because in Brazil we call that tea. In the late 15th century and the mid 16th century, multiple types of writing has popular in writing mills in China, southern provinces. In the 18 minutes and I unfortunately shut that off because the camera can record just 23 minutes and 25 seconds exactly. But I keep doing this because I love record and read in English in this fun way. In 1578, Li Shizhen, 1518 to 1593, completed his masterpiece, Compendium of Materia Medica, the Cao Gang Lu. In the mid 16th century, construction began on the humble administrator garden Zunzeng Garden in Sanhou, Jiangsu province. In the 1519, Galileo Galilei, 1564 to 1642, conducted the experiment on the law of the gravity. In the 1605, remarkable examples of Western writing, written by Matteo Ricci, has published in Beijing. Latin alphabets were introduced in China, and in Latin has used a phonet for the Chinese characters. In the 1609, for the first time, Dutch East India Company shipped tea from China to Europe. In 868, the Diamond Sutra has printed with wood block print, making it first print book of the kinds ever found in China. And it's very fun because like I don't know too much about Buddhists. Okay, I'm not a Buddhist at all. I'm not a Buddhist. So and but we know like the Buddhism in Japan started late than Chinese. The Chinese Buddhists are came first, and they introduced the Buddhism in Japan. So like it's fun. Like we read like oh in 600, bro. Like he's saying like about 14 centuries ago. It's a lot. They already practicing Buddhism there, you know, like in the early 15th century, the treasury ship commissioned by Zheng He at the 1371 to 1433 for his seventh voyage to Pacific Ocean. It could carry about 1,000 passengers, making it biggest ship in the world at this time. Nice, bro. Thousand of passengers at the 13th before the colonial. The 1420 Qing's Forbidden City has built in Beijing. Okay. Okay. Jesus, I always push that out from. Alright, we don't have too much more. I do those two pages. And the next one's here. Qing Dynasty, Han Dynasty, Zhou Dynasty, Zhang Dynasty. All those dynasty, all that we will keep on the next video, right? So if you want to see the dynasties about China, just keep watching my next video on YouTube, right? Let's finish that. In 1694, the Young Lama Temple has built in Beijing, China. In 1617, the Ming Dynasty's novel The Plume in the Golden Vessel, Jinping Mel has its printing for the first time. In 1715, construction began on the Summer Palace in Beijing, China. You see Beijing a lot here, right? In 1782, the compilation of the first part of the Complete Library in 4 sections, Siku Quansheng, has completed in the largest collection of books in Chinese history, which include a collection of 3,461 titles of book in 79,309 volumes and a list of 6,793 books titles in 93,551 volumes. God knows. In the middle 18th century, Chinese writer Cao Shenqing, 17th to 15th and 1763 wrote his novel The Dreams of Reed Chamber Ho Blue Mang. God. Alright guys, see you in the next video. Thank you.